All right, so what you are going to need to paint, you are going to need a set of colors. Not right now, please. You're going to need a set of colors. You're going to need a water container, and you are going to need a brush and paper towel. Now, we don't have enough of these for everybody, but there is enough that you're going to share with possibly one person. Okay? The water containers, when you fill these water containers, you only need to fill it half full. And ladies, gentlemen, if you currently have something in your hand, please put it down and look up at the screen. Thank you. All right, I'm going to have paper towel handy just in case I spill, but I also might need to just kind of dab off my paintbrush and clean it. We're going to talk a little bit in the cleanup video about cleaning these, and so we're going to wait for just a second here. But when it comes to painting, how many of you have used these paints before? Do you know what kind they are? They're either acrylic, watercolor, tempera. Yes, ma'am. They are tempera. Now, what I like about tempera is the fact that it is, this is really easy cleanup. There's no liquids other than what I make liquid. I also like that we can get really light and we can get really dark. All right, we are going to be working in really dark. Watercolor, we tend to do really light, but this, on the other hand, is going to be dark, at least for this. Okay, so how we do this? We actually have the primaries and the secondaries. You don't have to mix today. That's great. It's going to make it easy. So when I get ready to paint, I'm going to take a moment to lighten or erase the color that I'm painting. I am going to simply dip my paintbrush in water. And I'm going to take a minute maybe or less, and I'm just going to swirl my brush around to really liquefy this red. In fact, I'm going to dip it again and put a little bit of water on the top of this cake. They're called tempera cakes. Because we want this to be, as I just said, a thick paint. So I really have to loosen up the paint here. So I'm swirling, swirling, swirling. Our goal is to keep the paint primarily in just the bristles and away from the metal part of the brush. So we're not going to be digging this down, and we're not pushing the brush flat. We're just using the tip, again, to liquefy. So I think I've got enough on here. All right, so you're going to paint your sections, and we're only painting the inner circle. So I'm going to paint this red area that includes, let me move this in just a little bit, that includes the design that I made yesterday and today. The other thing you'll want to do is notice I'm turning my paper, because this brush, while it holds a lot of paint, and that's a good thing, is I don't want to use the entire section here. I want to use the tip to outline first. So I'm going to keep turning my paper until I get the entire thing outlined, and then I can fill it in. Our goal for today is to get all of the red, yellow, orange, blue, green, violet sections done. That means every other one. All right? So I'm done with red. Now, since I'm moving on to orange, orange is one of the colors that's made with using red. So I'm just going to clean out my brush in my water container. When it comes to cleaning this up, I'm just going to say, okay, I got a lot of water in here, so I'm going to squeeze it and I'm going to test it. It's got a little bit of red, but I think I'll be okay with orange. So then I can just move on to my orange, and again, I'm going to take some time and liquefy on the cake, and then I paint the orange. Does that make sense? Now, when I'm done with my orange, I do need to take a moment, just walk over, dump and refill this, and make sure my brush is clean. Because if I move on to yellow, I need a really clean brush. If I move on to, say, violet, I could probably do that one since it's used by mixing red. But any of the other colors, you want to clean your water and clean your brush. Does that make sense? Okay. Let me stop this for a second, guys.